So I'm going to start off by saying that I have recorded this video almost 3 times. I did it 2 full times and brought it into editing. I wasn't happy with the way it turned out. It was too long. And then I started the third time and just decided, no, I can already tell this isn't going right. So this is my fourth attempt at making this video. And I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. I'm not going to go into a crazy amount of detail, but I want to hit the important points. Obviously, I'm into photography. And one of the primary reasons why I'm into photography is for the classic cliche of freezing time, capturing a moment in time and preserving that memory. This is not just me. This is actually a really important thing in my entire family. My family specifically, we have been very diligently tracking our family tree and our history for many hundreds of years, quite literally. Every generation, somebody in the family ends up taking over and kind of tracking the family tree and copying things and adding to it and making redundancies. And if you go through, depending on which branch you follow, you can see the names, the occupations, the kind of interesting stories, notable characteristics of various family members going back quite a way. And one of the cool things that was added to that was, and around the mid 1800s, various family members started having their photos taken. So there was a photo to go with the story of these family members. Just on my dad's side alone, my father, if you look at the men on that side, I have a photo of me, obviously, and there's a photo of my father, Stephen King. Then there's a photo of his father, Cecil King. Then we have a photo of his father, Obed King. Then we have a photo of his father, James King. Then we have a photo of his father, Wiley King. Now, Wiley King is as far back as it goes. Wiley King was Choctaw Indian, and it was one of those really, really old school photographs. Didn't look like an illustration, but it was kind of in that realm, right? Very grainy, kind of dark, not great quality. But it was early to mid 1800s. It was kind of early on in the photography thing. But we're very happy that we have the photo and we know some information about him. So as I look at all these photos we have, I noticed that one of the problems with advancement and benefits and improvements in technology is that technology is constantly getting better. And part of that comes that what seemed like a miracle 20 years ago, you suddenly realize how it's not so great these days. But also it makes people kind of lazy. People don't back up things the way they should. They don't have enough physical, tangible copies because they think like, oh, it's on a hard drive somewhere, it's fine. And the way that that's mixed for us is that we do have the original photos of these family members somewhere in a box, in a file somewhere. But when it was time to make digital versions, because now digital's a thing and people are buying scanners, like back in the days of AOL Online, my dad, for example, was buying these scanners to use at home and scanning all these family photos, making digital copies, which is awesome. It was great that he made digital copies and he was able to send it to everybody in the family. And now we all have our own copies of these photos of various family members. But the downside is that, again, this is 25 years ago. This is late 90s. I don't even think the early 2000s had happened yet. I'm pretty sure this was late 90s. AOL Online, old school home scanners. It was cool that you could do it, but the quality, especially hindsight being 2020, the quality was atrocious. Today, these digital copies that we have of all these photos are very small, like thumbnail sized, super pixelated, just low quality digital copies of photos that were already, in some cases, 150 years old and were already damaged through time. So I've been wanting to try my hand at photo restoration, but paralysis by analysis, I think about all the potential drawbacks. I think about how do I find the fine line between restoring something properly versus I'm just taking liberties and adding stuff that's not there that might not age well. And I'm a little hesitant to do it. And then a company called Image Restoration Center reached out to me and they said, basically, we've seen your videos on YouTube. The one woman who works there, Emily, she was speaking to me directly we started talking about, videos and photography and things like that. And through our conversation, one of the things that immediately stood out to me was that this was not a copy and paste, mass email. This was a real person I was speaking to. And I could tell by speaking to her, she had actually watched my videos. She actually knew what kind of videos I made. She had watched them. She was able to, in conversation, reference very specific aspects of various different videos. This was a real person. I was having a real conversation with her, which immediately meant a lot to me. If you've ever looked back through my old videos, you'll notice I've never had a sponsored video. I've never had affiliate links. That's never been a thing. And it's not from a lack of offers. It's because morals and integrity are very important to me. And I refuse to be just another random YouTuber, no matter how small my channel is, that suddenly starts pushing a product that is questionable quality or from a questionable company that nobody really needs, but I'm going to do it because I want a payday. I hate it when I see that, and I'm not going to do it. So I've had probably about a dozen different sponsorship offers in the past. Oh, will you talk about this product in your video, this or that? And immediately just, nope, not interested, because it's a sketchy product or from a sketchy company, and I'm not going to play that game. In this case, with Image Restoration Center, what stood out to me is that, again, I was talking to a real person who actually had watched my videos and was not just sending out mass emails. She was emailing me specifically because she had watched my videos. She was familiar with me, and she thought, based on the videos that I make and the kind of stuff I talk about, this might be a product I'm interested in. So we spoke and this and that, and I reached out to a buddy of mine who's much more familiar with all this. He's a business analyst. He lives in New York. He deals with contracts and companies and all this stuff all the time. He's constantly in this sphere. So I was leaning on him for advice, like, hey man, I know some basics, but what should I be asking about? What should I be looking for to make sure that this isn't something sketchy? He gave me some great guidelines and basically said, well, first thing you got to do to really figure out how serious they are or how legit the offer is ask to do a video call. So that's what I did. By my surprise, it's no problem. Not only was I able to do a video call to actually just speak kind of face to face and get to know them on a more personal level, but I was speaking with the founder, the guy who started the company. As a total side note, just a quick little blurb, he's an awesome guy. I've got pretty good intuition. I'm good at reading people's character. And what I can say is the whole conversation was very pleasant. We spoke way longer than we meant to. We talked about all different types of just personal life stuff and stories and various things. Every single aspect of that conversation made it very obvious to me that this isn't some stereotypical, like kind of seedy, weird CEO type of guy that's just in it for the money. Like, this is a real guy, very personable. And he started this business because it's something that he personally has a passion for, and it's something he believes in, and he sees a need for it. And the business itself is still a small business. They have a very small team. Everybody works on things by hand. And I even reached out with difficult questions and was kind of confronting him with some things that were meant to kind of test how legit all this is. Like, is this a situation where it's a real artist who's actually working on my photo personally? Or in today's world, are you just using AI and then charging me for you to click an AI button? And I gave him a lot of tough questions, and he didn't shy away. There's no hesitation. There was no uh-oh and awkward pause. He was very transparent and very straightforward. He told me directly, they have tried AI tools. When a new AI software comes out, they will absolutely try it, because if it has the potential to improve the final product or to improve their workflow, they were willing to try it. And he was able to give me very detailed breakdowns of exactly what he's tried and the reasons why AI is not used, why they don't use it. Every photo that gets sent in for restoration with this company is actually handled personally by a real person that's taking their time to restore it by hand. They're using their own experience, because a lot of people they work with apparently have background in archiving or art or various things that, or photography obviously, but various things that help them have a very specific skilled eye for how to properly restore these photos without just glossing over or adding stuff that's not supposed to be there or destroying an important aspect. It's very high quality personal restoration. And he was basically saying, if you don't want to work with us, that's totally fine. I understand. However, if you'd like to work with us, we can basically offer you a free photo restoration so you can kind of see how the process works. And if you're not happy with it, or if there's any problems, don't worry about it. Just, it was happy talking to you, no problems, good luck. But if you genuinely like the product, or you just want to make a video, even if you don't like it, you can do that. And again, I came with the hard questions of telling them straight out, like, I am not into this. I'm not into the idea of being a shill. I'm not going to, for the sake of your company, or for the sake of me potentially making money, I'm not going to push a product that I don't actually believe in. I'm not going to even mention a product I don't believe in. I'm not going to edit my video to make you look better. Basically asking him all the stuff I've heard of before, all the horror stories. Am I going to have to send you my video first for you to pre-approve it? He said, no, of course not. So, okay, is there anything I have to say specifically? No, of course not. Okay, is there anything I'm not allowed to say? No, of course not. Because again, this is a real guy, a real conversation. He's saying, look, I started this company because I believe in this service, and that's simple as that. It's not about getting a cash grab. It's about, I believe in the service. I want to help people out. Obviously, we have to make money. This is a business. That's how business works. But there's no tricks. We'll restore a photo, and then if you want to, make a video about it. Awesome. So I sent them a photo of one of my lineage of my dad's side, James King. And I knew that this was going to be a very tough photo for them to mess with, because not only does the photo itself have age-related deterioration, but again, this was a digital copy, a thumbnail-sized, very grainy, low-quality digital copy. So they're going to have to do several things and go through several different steps just to get it to a point where it's ready to be edited and restored. And one of the things I was thinking about was, well, let's see how fast this happens. Because if I send them the photo, knowing how difficult it is and how much they have to go through, if I send them this photo and they send me something back within a few hours, then I know, again, they used some copy-paste style template, just ran it through an AI thing. They did something where it wasn't a lot of personal work. And to my delight, it wasn't sent back within a few hours. It actually took a few days. They took their time to make sure it was being done properly. And when they sent it back to me, they gave me two examples. One being the original black and white, and one being a colorized version. And I prefer the black and white because it's more original. It, to me, just to the eye, it's more appealing. It looks the way it should. But as I go through the photos and I look at the detail, it's very obvious to me. It's very apparent immediately that this was done correctly. If I look at his hair, I can still see all the fine details that were captured in the original photo of the splits and parts and separation in his hair. I can obviously see that the highlights that are supposed to be in the light are highlighted, and the areas that are dark and they're supposed to be in the dark are still dark. There was no weird thing where they're trying to artificially drop highlights or boost shadows and make it a modern HDR version. There's none of that. This is a proper photo restoration. This photo looks remarkably almost identical to the original photo that was not the digital copy. So I'm very happy with this result. And the next thing I tested, and I actually feel a little bit bad about this, is that I intentionally did not make a video for about a month now. This was all a month ago, and I never responded. After I got the photos back, I never responded to the email, never messaged the company, didn't tell them if I was going to do a photo or not, didn't even say thank you. I intentionally wanted to see if they were going to start harassing me or bugging me or trying to nudge me and push me into doing something that they initially said I didn't have to do if I didn't want to. So I kept my mouth shut, And I kept the photos on my table here and didn't say a word. I was silent for a month. And the result is I never heard from them. They never pushed. They never bugged me. They never said, hey, where's the video? It's nothing. They were true to their word. They said they would send me the photos, and they hope I'm happy with the results. And after that, I'm not required to do anything. And when I didn't respond to them and I didn't make a video, they didn't bother me. So I guess this is a very long-winded way of saying that I hope on my fourth attempt at this video, even though it's already gone longer than I wanted it to, I hope I've been able to express a little bit the every stage of the process, from the initial email and then the email exchange, all the way to the video call that I had with the actual owner of this company, down to the photo restoration itself. Everything I was highly, highly impressed by. I was on forget YouTube, forget the fact that I have a camera on, forget the fact that I'm going to upload this to the internet and people I've never met in my life are me watching this video. Forget all that. They didn't pay me anything. I'm not making this video for money. I'm making this video because after becoming aware of the company, after Googling it and looking into the various reviews and stories, emailing the people, having the video call, getting the photos back, every single part of the process before, during, and after has been such a good experience that I feel totally confident saying that, yeah, I think that this is a legit company. I think they offer a quality, actual, like a real, much needed service for many people. They do a great job with the actual restoration process. It's not cartoony. It's not AI versioned of something. There's no added stuff that's not supposed to be there. There's nothing removed that should be there. They didn't change the mood or the vibe of the photo by trying to make it look more modern. The closest they got with that is that they do offer to colorize the photo. And even that, to me, although it's cool, I probably wouldn't display this one. I'd display the original black and white because to me that's more authentic. So, Image Restoration Center, it has been a wonderful experience speaking with them and I guess working with them and getting these photos back. I cannot recommend them highly enough. I do now have an affiliate link. It's the first time I've ever done that, and I'm still a little not sure how I feel about it. So if you check the description later and the affiliate link is not there, it's because I just decided to remove it. On a moral level, I don't know how I feel about that stuff. I'm trying it out for the first time, but affiliate link or no, I legitimately believe in this company. The guy who started it is a great guy. The people he has working with him seem like great people because I spoke to one of them already. The actual quality of the product is top notch, and I think if you need to have photos restored, this is probably your best bet. So anyway, I'll wrap this up now. I have this instinct to keep gabbing longer and longer and give more detail and more praise and talk about this one thing we spoke about or this other aspect that I asked them about. But this video has gone on long enough. Image Restoration Center, it's the first company I've ever been totally confident with. And I am now making a dedicated video just to push their product, which is something does not come easy for me. And I hope it works out for you guys as well as it did for me. I have total faith in the company. And until next time, I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye.